Hey gang, welcome back to the channel. I am the Dog Father, and today here on a very windy Barbecue Boulevard, we got a really good fast cook for you today. Right here on Backyard Bosses, we're gonna do some flank steak. So if you're ready for some flank steak, let's get into it. All right guys, so as I said, we're gonna be doing some flank steak today. I got some great flank steak from my local Costco. It's got some great fat within there, and you can see the grain running through this flank steak perfectly. So you cut across, it's just gonna be a very tender cut. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. Now, we're gonna do it on our championship barrel today. And we're gonna light it up with some harder charcoal. And being I'm that Central Texas guy, I gotta have a little bit of post oak. So we're gonna get some post oak wood chunks put in there just to kind of flavor it up a little bit. And yeah, that's gonna be the game plan for our cook today. So if you're not into flank steak, you soon will be, because you don't know what you're missing out on. So let's get into this flank steak. All right guys, so here we've got our flank steak, and we're gonna go ahead and get it seasoned up. And we're gonna start off with some 16 mesh black pepper. You know, Central Texas guy, I kind of love that 16 mesh, so that's what we're going to get started with. And if you notice, I didn't put a binder on here at all because the steak is actually tacky enough that these rubs are going to stick, so I'm not going to worry about putting any type of binder on here. Now that we've got our 16 mesh all on this flank steak, we're going to come back with the Pit Boss, and this is going to be the salt and pepper, smoked salt and pepper that is. And we're going to get a good dose of this salt and pepper on here. Now I'm trying to sprinkle a little high. It's very windy here today, and I don't want to lose seasoning all over the place other than on my steak. So I'm trying to be careful with it here, but we're going to sprinkle high, and we're going to be pretty liberal with getting this smoked salt and pepper on here. And we're just going to give it a press to press it in. And then the beauty of this whole thing is we get to flip it over and do it all again. So we're going to come back again with this 16 mesh black pepper, followed by our smoked salt and pepper by Pit Boss again. And just like that, we've got our flank steak all seasoned up and ready for the grill. All right guys, now we got our flank steak all seasoned up as you just saw, and we're just gonna let it hang out, let it kind of soak in some of these flavors and give us a better overall end product. But while we're letting that soak in, we're gonna get our grill lit, all right? We're gonna be using our Pit Boss Championship barrel, so let's get it lit up. All right, so as you can see, we've got our charcoal here nicely burning, and we didn't need a ton of charcoal because we're just cooking some steaks today here. But again, I'm a Texas guy. I gotta have my post oak. So we're gonna put a couple of chunks of post oak on here. Actually, we're gonna put 3. All right, so now we've got our post oak on here, and we're gonna let this burn, and this is gonna be a good cook. Okay, so now that we got our charcoal and our wood on here, we're gonna get our grill rack put on, and it's just gonna fit right in here just like so, and we're gonna let it go. All right guys, now we've got our coals going here. Just lit them up here a little while ago, but they're getting there. We're almost ready to get cooking, but this is gonna be a fast cook. We're cooking steak, we're going high heat, so it's gonna be a fast cook. So you wanna make sure you got things ready so that once you start cooking, you're not fumbling around trying to figure out what you got to do. So we got to make sure we got some good tongs on us, all right? We're going to use these tongs to get our steak flipped and to also, you know, move it around, get it off the grill or whatever. So you want to make sure you got your tongs, but as well, you also want to make sure you got your probe, your thermometer. So your instant read thermometer, so you can get the temperatures that you're looking for. Today, we're probably going to cook this up to about 125, maybe 120, 125 degrees, and we'll get it pulled off. At least that's going to be the game plan. We'll see if it works out that way, but that's what we're going to try to do. So hey, we're going to get ready to get this on. You're also going to need a tray, so we got a tray set aside so that we can pull the steak off and get it onto a tray and get it resting when we're ready. But let's get ready to get this steak on. All right guys, so now that we're talking about steak, I want to know, what is your favorite cut of steak? Put it down in the comments and let's talk about it. And while we're at it, what's your favorite seasoning? I'm kind of partial to salt and pepper, but I know there's a lot of stuff out there for steak that maybe I need to try. So tell me, what is your favorite seasoning or rub that you like to put on your steak as well? Let's talk about it. All right, so Our coals are looking good. We still got a little bit of a gentle flame action going here. And typically you kind of let, you know, your coals ash over and all that. But I kind of like having a little bit of flame going to kind of gently kiss on the steak whenever I put it on. So we're going to go ahead and get our steak put on now. All right, so here we've got our flank steak here. We're just going to lay it right over top of our grill, just like so. Give it a little gentle press so that it gets good contact with the grill. And we're just going to let it cook. All right, so here we are checking on our steak here, checking our temperature, and we're at 118 degrees right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. And again, we're going to shoot for about 125 or so. So yeah, once we get there, I'll go ahead and pull this thing off and get it rested, and we'll get into some flank steak, guys. All right, guys, now we got our flank steak off and it's resting right now. And right now I want to tell you about a condiment that we're going to have with this flank steak. It's a Salsa Criolla. Now, I love making this stuff whenever I do my Argentinian style of cooking, and it goes great with flank steak like this. So very simple to make. I got in the studio earlier and I got some red peppers, some tomatoes, some onions, a little parsley. We got all that chopped up. We got some garlic. Now, I didn't use fresh garlic this time. I actually used granulated garlic, but I put that in there. I put some crushed red chili peppers in there for just a little bit of heat. And then my salt and pepper. We got all this put together, and we got some red wine vinegar added into it, along with some olive oil. Got that all mixed up, and we've just letting that meld together in the refrigerator, and it's going to go great with this flank steak. Now, we got this flank steak off here about 10 or 15 minutes ago. It's got a good rest to it, so let's cut into this flank steak and let's check this out. All right, now here we've got our flank steak nicely rested, looking fantastic. The color just looks really good on it. If you look here, you can kind of see this is the way the grain, see that running this way. So we're going to be cross-cutting this way to be able to get some really good tender slices. So let's go ahead and get this thing sliced up. All right, so here we go. All right, so let's pull a cut out of here. And there we go, guys. There's our flank steak. Looking pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. So we're going to have to go ahead and taste this, because, man, I don't know how much longer I can wait on that. But there we go. Let's get even a smaller cut. And there we go. And we're ready to taste this. Wait, not just yet. We're forgetting something. We got to get our Salsa Criolla on here. So let's get some on. Okay, so here is our Salsa Criolla, and we're going to get a little bit of that put on here. And I tell you, it just smells really good, looking really good. So we're going to put some right over top of this steak, just like that. A little bit more. And now we're ready to go in for a bite. All right, here we go. Oh yeah. Guys, I gotta tell you, this is fantastic. The smokiness from that the smoked salt and pepper from Pit Boss, combine that with this Salsa Criolla. You know, you got the nice acidic flavors there with the red wine vinegar. Man, I'm telling you, this is a fantastic dish. You're definitely gonna have to try this. I'm not gonna be rude, but y'all gotta go, because I got some flank steak to get into. I'll see y'all in the next video. Dogfather's out. Peace.